Hello everybody, welcome in to the stream. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late, I'm not gonna lie, I was just kind of zoned out vibing to the, the Slime Rancher music. I kind of forgot that I pressed the go live, went to sort of go get myself sorted before stream. And then I was like, oh yeah, it's like 2 minutes past 12, so yay, we're doing well. I'm hoping that everything sounds okay. I've set everything up like roughly how it was last week. Microphone sort of in the same place and everything. And I think the volume on the music's roughly the same. I've got earbuds in this week rather than my headphones, just because obviously when I'm cooking, as I noticed last week, that it was getting very, very warm and very sweaty in here, and yeah, it was kind of gross when I took those off, so I was like, I'm going to try the earphones, but that means that the sound is completely different in these, so I'm hoping that everything sounds good on your end. If the music's too loud or too quiet, I can sort of adjust things, because I've got my phone here, so I can sort of change settings as needed. Yeah, I'll sort of wait for people to hop in, and then I'll get cracking stuff. So today I am making Savoury Crumble. So that one's going to be sausage, apple, crumble. Sort of almost going for like Somerset porky vibes with it. So it's going to be sausage, it's going to be apples, obviously like an onion gravy in there. And I am going to cheat with the gravy, I'm going to be honest. I'm using onion gravy granules. Can't be bothered making one from scratch. So yeah, that's going to be like the main thing that we're making today. And then also some tropical fruit smoothie. Sorbet. I keep calling it smoothie because it's actually a smoothie mix. But I'm using the smoothie mix and then a bag of like frozen mango. Both frozen stuff that I've got here that have defrosted, because if I left these frozen, I've already broken one mixer trying to mix frozen fruit in it, so I thought I should probably defrost these so they're a little bit more squidgy. So we're going to use these. We've got one bag of smoothie mix, we've got another bag of mango underneath that, and we're going to use these to make some sorbet with. So this bag has pineapple, papaya and mango, so it's mostly going to be mango with a bit of extra flavour in it, but that's totally fine. I got these in Aldi the other day when I went in, and they were like super cheap. Frozen, so it's great because it means I could just, defrost a bag of fruit and mix it up and freeze it again, and I've got sorbet, so nice and easy. My tablet actually says it's still reconnecting to the chat, so if anybody is in, apologies, that might be why I'm not seeing any messages. I'm just closing it, starting it again, because a bit funny. Where am I? Okay. Just gonna duck away for a sec, check if I've... There we go. Hi Beeves, hi Gio, and hi Flanders as well. Fun with the lurk. Okay, so I just checked it on the computer because I was like, the OBS still tracks all of the chat. Yeah, the tablet that I set the tablet up earlier. Hadn't realised it was like, oh, still connecting to chat, and it hadn't actually properly connected. So apologies, I missed all of your messages, I missed you all coming in. I was like, usually there's at least one person in now, even if they just say hi and nothing else, so that would be why. Hi everyone. Sorry, I've completely missed all of your messages. Until just now, yes. I won't drop the stuff in the food. But yeah, welcome into everybody. Hope you're all doing well. I can now see chat, so hopefully any more messages I should pop up on this. Yeah, I do need to get a monitor to put in here. I'll deal with that some other day. But yeah, how is everybody doing today? I'm gonna stop waffling, and I should probably get started on the prep a little bit. Hey lad, welcome in. Yeah, there's water in the car coming from somewhere. Okay, so we've got all of this stuff. I'm trying to remember how I actually make this. So I needed to write out the recipe, and I already forgot that. So we're doing well. So what we're gonna do? Get the sugar. I'm gonna stall for a second while I remember how to make sorbet. It's fine. Actually, what we could do is get out the other bits for the crumble later as well. So we've got savoury sausage crumble, and then we have the sorbet. I might, if I get time, I might try and make something else. But I'm not sure I'm gonna be doing a super long stream today. Words hard. Yeah, that's basically what my brain's doing today. So it's probably why it's not gonna be super long. Like maybe just do a couple hours rather than like 3 or whatever it was last. But that's fine. I have also discovered that the issue I was having with the camera last week was that the display settings on the camera screen are set to go off like every 30 minutes. So that's why yeah, that's why the camera was going off for me and it wasn't going off for you guys. It's because the actual screen on the camera is supposed to go off. So I think I can just sort of like change the focus and it should turn back on rather than constantly clicking it back on. Got a full battery, we've got everything, so we should. So I'm just gonna quick check sorbet recipe. I think I'm supposed to cook this down, but for some reason my brain is like, no, you don't cook this. So I'm just double checking. I foolishly put this one out and down there. It's fine, it's totally fine. Yeah, what is everybody up to today on this fine Friday? Okay, so with this one, sorry, that's fine. Cool. So we have more. It's less of an actual recipe and more just ratios. So like 1 cup of sugar to 5 cups of fruit, 5 or 6. I went with 5 because. So over here, do that. And then we're gonna stick it all in the blender. So I'll turn the microphone off before I do that because otherwise you're all gonna be deafened and it'll be horrible. Because it's a cheap blender, I'm not gonna lie. It's a great blender, but it's not the quietest of machines, shall we say. So I would rather not deafen you all. Oh, these were actually 2 bags of smoothie mix. That's fine. I thought there was 1 bag of mango. No, I left the mango in the freezer. So I've got 2 bags of the smoothie mix. So it'll definitely be more tropical ratio than just mango, which is good. No idea what day it is. Summer holidays, well and truly mullered me, and there's 5 weeks left off. My condolences to your sanity. I ideally need to do streams today apart from the drugs. Maybe get rid of the Jack yeah, I was obviously trying to, you know, get into a sense of routine. I was going to do yesterday, and then ended up going to the cinema with some friends, and then I went to go see the new Fantastic Four, which, by the way, fully recommend. Got juice in here. Okay, I consider that looks like about well, that is a cup, so that's probably about, yeah, I would say I'm sort of just trying to roughly gauge how much is actually in these, because obviously cup measurements to like gram measurements are horrendous because they don't equate to the same thing. So trying to figure out what an actual like volume of fruit would be in one of these is not helpful, but that's fine. I would say that those packs roughly even out to about 5 cups. So that is perfect. And what I do also have, so basically there is a ratio of fruit, ratio of sugar, small pinch of salt, and a ratio of acid. So you've got the sweetness, you've got the acid, you've got the salt. Obviously I know that's the basis of all things, specifying that. But there's not so much a recipe with this one, it's just these are the things that you want to add in a ratio to make sure, and obviously it depends entirely on what fruit you have to the ratio you want. So like obviously for something like if I was making a lemon sorbet, for example, I would probably want I would probably want slightly more sugar than I would if I'm making something like, I don't know, a red apple, because they tend to be. So yeah, that's sort of the basis. This one, there's sort of less of an actual recipe and more just follow these vague ratios, and you're obvious there isn't raw. Lucky, because we're not cooking. That means I can also test it as we also have the I tried making, I think I made 2 sorbets in the past. So this is probably actually like the 4th time I've even used this ice cream maker. Because I bought it a couple of years ago, and then I think I used it like once. And both the sorbets, I didn't add nearly enough sugar. And they just they set like a block of ice. If I put it in ice lolly molds, it would have been fine. But obviously, because I was putting it in a tub, then you basically had to thaw and refreeze the entire tub every time you wanted to get a scoop, because it was just solid. So I'm hoping with this one that it turns out. I did also recommend the egg test, where you put an egg, like once you've blitzed the mixture, you put an egg in it, and if it it stays sort of like near the top, it means that there's enough sugar. But I don't really put an egg in here. So like, I don't want to put the egg shell in the food, if that makes sense, because eggs are not clean. And as I'm not cooking it, I don't want to then introduce bacteria into there. I also, the eggs I usually get is like the big cartons, like the 15 like random sized eggs, and they are never clean. So, like, yeah. I'm not gonna do that. I would like to be able to offer this. I would like to not give them. So yeah, we're gonna leave that. Really want Ninja Creamy, but I have no room. Yeah, I mean, they're alright. I have seen some reviews on them, and they're sort of like a little bit mixed. So yeah, some people find them great. Other people have been like, really add anything, and like unless you want to get Ninja products, or you already have Ninja products, because I don't really know is it like an attachment to like another device, or is it a different like stand thing? Because to be honest, the one I've got here is a different machine. Okay, so I would say with something like that, if you really want to make like sorbets, ice cream and stuff, get something like this first. Obviously, if you don't have the option to buy an attachment to a machine you already own, this one is a relatively decent make. Called Andrew James. And I think it was about 20 quid on Amazon. And honestly, for me, I would rather spend 20 quid on something that I know I'm not going to use a lot than whatever the price of the Ninja one is, because I know that they're not cheap. So that's just my opinion. Like, if it's something that you want to use and you do find that you end up using it, there's no reason to then not upgrade at a future point. But at least then it means that you've got something in the interim, and if you find that you don't end up using it, then at least you haven't bought like £100+ whatever you do. Plus obviously it does the job. It just means that if you want to make something like a, I guess, sort of more slushy texture, that you just turn that one off a little bit sooner. So yeah, that's just my thoughts. Obviously everybody has their own wants, and I'm not gonna say, oh, don't pay that, but yeah, that's just my opinion on these kitchen gadgets. And that's coming from someone, you can't see the top of this cupboard, but on the top of this cupboard, I have the box for the ice cream machine. I also have a waffle maker up there. So yeah, this is coming from someone who's bought all of the kitchen gadgets and rarely uses them, which is why I'm trying to stream now, because that means that I have a perfect excuse to bring them out every now. Okay, so the sorbet mix, actually, I'm just going to throw a bit of salt in there. Yeah. And then here is one that I prepared earlier. I had a load of lemons and oranges a while ago. I wasn't going to end up using them, so I juiced them, and then I froze all the juice in some ice cube trays, and then I put the ice cubes in here, because this is really great for if I want to add a bit of acid to things. But I don't have any fresh oranges or lemons or stuff like that. So that's what these are. And I'm just putting three in our mixture, and that'll just add in a bit of sort of acidity. Because I could use fresh lemon juice, but I just find these are a bit more useful. And obviously having the different flavour and having the sort of light orange. Nicer. So I'm going to put all of this in the blender. I'm going to mute while I do that so that I don't deafen you. So I will be back once the mixture is once it's blitzed, and I'll also just dash out and grab the ice cream maker bowl as well. So I will be back. Okay, so that is everything blitzed up. We'll switch on the and get things going. Actually reminds me that this is quite loud, so I'm hoping that that's alright. go. Just clear everything away. Okay, lovely. So we've got the sorbet on. Can anyone hear the machine from there, by the way? And is it alright volume? If so, if it's too loud, I can mute and sort of wait for that to finish. If not, I'll leave it going for now. Hopefully, we should have some sorbet in a few minutes. While that's going, I'm gonna set up and then I will start chopping some onions and apple for the crumble. Trying to decide whether I should do like more or less apple, because obviously it is a savoury crumble. I don't want to make an apple crumble with sausages in. I want to make a sausage crumble with apples. But I've got a 6-pack of sausages for this one, and I'm also going to chop up the sausages so it's not just like full sausages in there. So I'm going to slice up the onions, and then slice up the apple as well, so it's all in sort of similar sized chunks. And then later, if I get to it, I also have some rhubarb to stew down. Actually, I might do the rhubarb first. I don't know why I'm doing this one. No? You can. It's fine. It's causing mild chaos in the kitchen. I went into, of all places, I went into Marks and Spencer's the other day, and they had like these like packs of rhubarb for £1.50 each. So I bought 2 because I love rhubarb. And like, yeah, it's a bit green, and it's probably not the best rhubarb for the season, which is why they'd be selling it off. But I was like, I don't care. I love rhubarb, so we're gonna stew this up, and then decide what we're gonna do with it. I actually just quite enjoyed having this as like a topping for like Greek yogurt. Obviously dairy-free Greek yogurt, but yeah, I just quite like having it for that, so thinking that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm sort of limited on the space a little bit here, but that's fine. Just gonna top and tail it, and I could peel it, but honestly I'm not that bothered. Like sometimes if the peel sort of comes off easily, I will do, but other than that I'm pretty not that fast. Not surprised. Huge. Yeah, like this is a really decent size for rhubarb. Like I've like the local like market near me, even their rhubarb was not this size. Like even just the thickness of it, the ones that I got were pretty small, and it was so expensive. It was nice, don't get me wrong, and it was like proper Yorkshire rhubarb and all of that. But yeah, this is for the size and for the like price. Well happier with this. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. So, like I said, I don't know how well you guys can hear the. Actually, I think the music's still playing. It's really quiet in these earphones, so if it has gone off, apologies. I forgot what I was saying now. Yeah, that was it. I don't know if you can hear the ice cream maker. Sorry, my nose is really itchy at the moment. But it starts making this noise. You can tell when the like ice cream or sorbet or whatever is ready, because it starts. Music's still on. Oh, cool. Yeah, sort of starts making different noise. Like you can hear it struggling to turn. Hear the ice cream making, but not overpowering. Okay, that's fine. As long as it's not like a really horrible noise. Obviously, I don't wanna make people not enjoy the stream. But yeah, so that's usually how I know it's sort of ready. Is you can like hear it physically struggling to like turn, because obviously it's frozen it so much it's solidifying. So I'm going to chop all of this down. Put it in the pan, and then I'll rinse it off. Because I'll probably stressing some people out not washing very well. Just makes it a bit easier to wash, because obviously it's so long it won't actually fit in the in the sink. So I think actually we're gonna just leave it with one pack, because we've got a lot in there. Like we've at least half filled the pan, and that was just with one pack. So I'm gonna put the other pack back in the fridge. We don't need that one. Then we're gonna give this a rinse. Go, and then I haven't put the sugar away, so that's great. I'm also going to put some of these orange and lemon cubes in here as well. There we go. A little bit of salt. Rhubarb going, that's the sorbet going. Just get a spoon. So coat that in the sugar. So a little bit of water in there as well, and that would sort of just help it basically not immediately burn. So that'll be good. Hey Sonia, hey who, welcome in. Sorry I'm late, sorting out hiring a storage unit. Ooh, that sounds fun. And no worries, don't need to apologise for being late. That is absolutely fine. To be fair, I've mostly waffled. Not of the food kind, more of the talking kind. And to be fair, all we've done is chop up some rhubarb, and we're gonna get some of that on. Shouldn't touch the side of the pan, that's actually very warm. Getting this on to stew down, sort of make like a rhubarb compote, and we're currently making some tropical sorbet over there. So that is all we've done so far, and I'm just about to start cutting up some onions and some apple to make the savoury crumble next. So while those are all working, I'm going to get started on the next lot of stuff. So I'll point the camera down just so that you can see a little bit more what's going on, because obviously I know you're mostly just looking at my face while I'm yakking, so I'll just point it down there and then you can actually see things a little bit better. So it's all around yours for dinner. I mean, hey, if you would like some savoury sausage crumble, that is totally fine. Actually, I'm gonna cut the apple last, because obviously that will go brown by the time I have finished with these. I might actually get the other knife, because this is quite blunt. I need a knife sharpener. I haven't got one yet. This poor knife has been through the walls already, so I'm gonna get a bigger one. There we go. But yeah, how are you doing, Sonia and Piers? I hope you're both doing well. So I actually got these. I can't remember if it was the end of last week or the start of this week. Got them from a Too Good To Go bag. Ooh. Sorry, I think so. The drainer just moved. I just heard a clonk and I was like, what's that? Yeah, got these onions from Too Good To Go bag. So they are decent, but I don't know how good quality they are in terms of like how old they are, how long they've been sitting. So I might just sort of have to cut chunks off here and there. But I love using Too Good To Go for that reason of like, I'll just get random stuff. Like really nice random like really nice random fruit and veg. And it's fun sort of coming up with ideas to use them for. I still have a huge, like 2-litre, obviously it's not Kilner, but like one of the big jars of apple chutney, because I got a bag a few months back, actually just before I moved in here. Got like, I don't actually know how heavy the bag of apples was, but it was literally just half a grocery bag full of apples. And I was like, I don't know what to do with these. So I just made a massive batch of apple and date chutney, and it is really nice. So I'm quite proud of that one. But yeah, it's still in the fridge. I haven't used all of it yet. So I'm aging it. And it's chutney, so I figure, you know, if it's preserved properly anyway, it doesn't go off. Ooh. Yeah, this one's a bit of a sad onion. It's fine, we've got plenty. The objective with the rhubarb is obviously stew it down, soften it up, reduce some of the liquid off. I did put some water in there just so that it had a chance to like cook rather than immediately burn all the sugar. But there is a lot of liquid that's coming off of it, so that'll need to reduce a bit more. Just booted the table, and let me just catch up on chat for a sec. Star Walking to be there by Christmas. Good, thanks. Setting up a new 3D printer. Ooh, fun. Double your production half the time. Nice. What is it that you 3D print, Sonia? I would love to get a 3D printer. The problem is, it's probably another one of those gadgets that I would use about 2 or 3 times, and then I would forget it exists. So I do that all the time. Bakery bag I got was in the... Yeah, I still got a loaf of bread in the freezer actually from the bakery bag. So that was good. Oh, you mean the one I got while you were here? Yeah. No, that one was great. I love those bags, honestly. I'm trying to think of the best one that I've had today. I think just the sheer volume and the fact that it was also stuff that I already was planning to use. It's probably the one I got a couple Christmases ago, or like just before Christmas. I bought like 2 good to go bags, and they were both grocery ones. And I got about 10 kilos worth of potatoes, which is fantastic because I was hosting Christmas dinner. It was a budget. I'd already bought most of the potatoes before this point, but you know, that was fine. It was fantastic. So that was probably the best one. And then yeah, the second, I think the one that surprised me the most is probably, I got one from Cinnabon. So I was like, oh, I'll treat myself, I'll probably get like a couple. And they gave me, no word of a lie, 2 boxes of 4 Cinnabons, 2 boxes of 2 Cinnabons, and then 2 individual portioned ones. And I was like, this is incredible. And also, so many cinnamon rolls. gonna get rid of that one out of the way. Don't need him anymore. I'm getting so much liquid off of these. Not a lot. The landscape's kind of mushy. Doing yarn bowls at the moment. There's so many things planned. Oh wow, that's really cool. If you ever get 3D printer, totally recommend the A1 bamboo grated tree-level printer, so easy to use. Oh, that is good to know. Thanks, Sonia. Yeah, like it may be one of those things that I sort of venture into at some point. But yeah, we'll see. It would be cool to do. So I'm chopping these sort of fairly chunky, and the reason why I'm doing that is just because I'm going to sort of try and caramelize these a little bit before I actually add anything else to the pan. So I don't want to chop them too small because otherwise they'll just burn. Love a good cinnamon roll. I know, cinnamon rolls are so good. I've been meaning to go back and get another one of those Too Good To Go bags. So they have them on fairly frequently. The only trouble is, the only time that you can get them is like 9:15. I think it's like 8:30, 9:45 rather. Yeah. So it's like I don't necessarily want to be venturing into town specifically to go get them. Which is probably a good thing in fairness, because if I was venturing into town every evening to go get one of those, I would be as big as a house. Okay, so got the onions chopped. Put that on. Stir. I think that's almost there. I'm going to add in just a tad more sugar, because I didn't add in a lot to begin with. And obviously I added in more like sourness and acid with the lemons and all of this, so. There we go. Not all of the bits of rhubarb are broken down yet, so I want to sort of give them all even cooking time. I'm just going to get some oil in this pan. I think we're almost there on the sorbet. It is taking a little while to think everything is quite warm in here. But that's fine. Onions going. So what I'm going to do with the sausages, I'm going to partly cook them in the air fryer, and then I'm going to chop them up. So these are the sausages that I've got. I thought those will have a nice flavour, and I'm also going to add in a little bit of mustard into the actual sauce as well. Rhubarb is done. So that is our nice stewed rhubarb. Putting a bit of salt and a little bit of sugar in with these onions just to get them to caramelise a bit quicker as well. And I need to put the spoon that I use for the rhubarb. There we go, just unmute there. Just put the extractor on just for a few seconds to get rid of the onion. Turn the sorbet off, so that should be ready now, and I'm going to scoop it out into some tubs. Sorbet out is actually the toughest part of this. we have 1 tub of sorbet just there. And I'm just going to fill up the next one. Caramelize on burn. Lovely. So that is 2 tubs of sorbet. Just gonna adjust the camera a little bit, try and turn it back on. Crafty's nighttime cookery. Oh no, has the camera actually gone off? It's not switching back on for me. Has the camera stopped? Should probably go check. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to put the BRB screen on because I'm just running out of the room anyway to go put the ice cream in the freezer. So I'll put the BRB on. I'll go do that and I'll change the camera battery over. So we're just going to take a quick break. Okay, hopefully everything should be back now. Just going to double check. Obviously when I leave the room, there's nothing in here that's actually moving, so I can't tell whether the camera's frozen or whether it's on. So I am back in the I'm back in the kitchen now. Works. So if you can't see me standing directly in front of the onions, frozen. So Yeah, if you cannot see me in the kitchen and you can hear me, please let me know. So that means I need to go reset the screen. Of course, if you can see me waving at you, then we're all good. Yeah, battery ran out. We got actually about an hour in, so that's fine. Onions are sort of caramelizing currently, so that is good. Can't see you in my kitchen. Well, that's fine. As long as you can see me in this one. That is all I need. So, I'm now going to start on the crumble topic for the crumble. The fact that I just forgot the word crumble when I just said it, that was, yeah. Because I haven't had any crumble today. So, yeah, I'm going to start the crumble topping. Get that prepped. The sausages are still cooking, and I want to cook the sausages up a little bit just so that I can then cut them up. Because I don't want to cut them when they're raw. That won't look very good. So I'm making this here savoury crumble topping, so I'm not going to put sugar in it. What I am, however, going to put in it is some black pudding, because I'm not usually a fan of black pudding by itself. But when I was syncing up the recipe for this crumble, I was like, well, how can I make a savoury crumble distinct enough from a regular crumble that I won't just feel like it won't feel wrong, if that makes sense. So I was like, well, let's just make it extra special, and yeah, put some herbs in it, put some black pudding in it as well. So we're doing a mix of flour, doing some oats, and it'll just give that crunch as well. I'm not measuring anything out, I am literally just throwing stuff in a bowl. So I'll put that down here so you can actually see what I've got going on. Sort of just going by eye, trying to gauge how much we're actually going to have. So we've got that one. So I'll do this and I'll do the butter first, and then I'll add in the oats. You could say the word crumbled out of your mind. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much did. So, got an apple that I will chop up in a bit. I don't want to do the apple too soon. Like, I want to put the sausages in first, and then I'll do the apple as well, because obviously the apple will it'll go brown if I don't put it in quick enough, and obviously if I put it in too soon with the onions, it'll just burn. Those are getting a nice colour. should be the sausages done because the air fryer is just pinged. And what I'm also going to do with these is portion them up. So I've got some like little like metal sort of takeaway containers basically. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to portion up the mix into those and then freeze them that way. So it's all sort of made as a like self-contained meal, and then it means that if I want to, like, I can just shove them in the oven or I can put them in the air fryer. So that's why I'm cooking everything. Obviously everything's going to get cooked anyway, but like that's why I'm making sure everything is like thoroughly cooked through, because then it means that when I'm actually then reheating them, I'm not cooking it all from scratch. So these are going to be nice sort of ready-made meals that I'm going to shove in the freezer somewhere. Figure out where I've got the room. And then just makes it easier that way. I realise this looks very cack-handed, and it's because I'm right-handed. Usually this is a lot quicker with my right hand. Trying to crumble the mixture. Yeah, so what is everybody up to today, and what are you all planning for food related things? Obviously I will be having one of these later, so I will let you all know on the Discord how they taste, because obviously making it is one thing. How it actually tastes is another thing entirely, and I've never even made a savoury crumble before, so I have no idea how this is going to go. It could taste absolutely atrocious. I'm hoping it doesn't, because that definitely would be a very good selling point. But you know, that's the thing about experimenting with foods and with flavours, is you're never entirely sure whether it's going to work or not. Okay, so that's looking like breadcrumbs. My hand is getting tired. I would say that is good enough. I'm going to put the remaining bit of butter back in. Actually, I'm going to put some butter in with the things. I put in some oil. I didn't put in any butter. I'm probably going to want that. There we go. So I'm going to put that back in the fridge. Wash my hand. There are the sausages. There we go. It's getting some colour on them now. That one there is our stewed rhubarb. So I'm just put that in the tub, put that to the side. Now it's sort of cooled off, I can put it in the tub. Just want to make sure everything's covered over. So those are looking quite caramelised now. Ooh, I'm going to chop up the apple, and I'm going to do it sort of similar chunks. I just find this the easiest way of coring the apple rather than faffing on with it. So I'm also not going to peel it because, to be honest, I don't actually mind the apple peel, and obviously it's going to cook down, so it's not the worst in the world. I'm just using Granny Smiths because these are the apples I have. Obviously, if you want to make this, you can use whatever apples you prefer. You can use proper Bramleys. I love Granny Smiths because I love the sharp flavour of them, and to be fair, I feel like they're quite similar in that respect with Bramley apples anyway. Obviously just a lot smaller. And I was that weird kid that used to like eating the Bramleys. Whenever I was making applesauce, I would always like cut off bits of the Bramley apple and eat it while I was making those. I know you're not supposed to, but I don't care. Okay, so apple is in. I'm just going to change out the chopping board. So this one's a new chopping board because I wanted one that I just use for like fruit and veg. So I'm going to change this one out and get the meat board. I don't mind using the same knife because obviously I've done all the veg prep, so that's fine. I'm just going to chop the sausages similar size to the apple and onion chunks. I'm just trying to be really careful not to like roll these directly off the board, but I can't touch them because they're red hot. They just came out of the air fryer, so I don't want to touch these with my hands. Okay, and now once these are done, I'll just move this board out of the way. So that's all the cutting and all of the veg prep that we're going to do. And then we're just going to assemble the sauce. like I said earlier, I'm gonna be lazy, and I am using gravy granules to make the sauce with. 2 reasons: A, because it adds flavour, and B, because obviously this will thicken by itself, so it means I don't need to add anything like flour or corn flour that I then later need to cook out by itself. It just means I can use this, and it gives me all of the extra flavour. And obviously we've got like the caramelised onions in there already, so we'll just have extra oniony flavour. And again, obviously it's a savoury crumble, so I don't want it, I want the sausage, not the sausage, well I do want the sausage in there. I want the apple in there for like a bit of sweetness, a bit of difference, but obviously I want the majority of it to be sausage and onion flavourings, so that's why I'm going for this, as that'll just help me rather than trying to make a gravy from scratch. That is the one thing that I've never consistently been able to do. So I'm not good at making gravy. So I'm not going to start now. It's basically the vibe. So I'm just going to put that up there a little bit. There we go. I need to try and figure out an angle if I can have it so that the camera is like far enough down you can see what's going on here, but so I'm not completely cropped out of frame. But yeah, we'll figure something. So I'm just going to put the sausages in there. I'm going to put the kettle on, because I forgot that. And then once the kettle's boiled, I will make the sauce, and then I'm going to sort of stew this up for a little bit. I'm also going to add in a little bit of mustard with the gravy as well. Okay, so making the topping. And I'm just going to crumble up the black pudding and sort of add that in. I want it fairly small so it all mixes in together. I don't want like too big a chunks. I might even need a bit more topping as well. I don't know how many this is going to make, but we'll find out. And then I think once the crumble's done, obviously I'm going to assemble them. I'll assemble them in the trays, and then that'll be where we cool it, because I'll need to wait for them to cool down anyway before I can then freeze them. But the rest of our prep is actually done, and then what that means is I can start thinking up some plans for next week. And yeah. Also got some other bits to do, got some editing to do for tomorrow as well. So busy. Usually this would be the day that I would be editing. So I would like, obviously, trying to get into a routine of this, I would be streaming yesterday, editing today, and then sort of have stuff go up on Saturday and having the weekend off. Obviously I was out yesterday, so that sort of changed plans, which is fine. Trying to keep everything on track. Like, I think think the biggest thing that sort of put me off of streaming, obviously the things that sort of stopped me from streaming previously, obviously time constraints around other people, but then also like having that mindset of like, oh, I've got to do it all and I've got to do it perfectly, and like if 1 week gets messed up, then that's it, kind of thing. Being really just overly critical when things, like, I would never plan for things going wrong. Like, there was never that sort of like, you know, contingency plans. So I'm trying to get a little bit better with that this time and be like, you know, like today, yesterday, like, oh, I've just got to move a stream. It's not the end of the world. And it really doesn't change a lot. Like, I had time to do that today, so just sort of switch things last minute and that kind of stuff. And really wasn't a massive deal. So yeah, it's just trying to be less all or nothing about it, really. Which I'm sure for streamers, content creators out there, it's one of those, you know, if you know, you know, kind of deals. Trying to get out of that mindset of like, yeah, there's an element of consistency, and I know like a lot of people will say like, oh, you've got to be consistent with streams. If you want to, you know, make this more than just a hobby kind of thing, which is completely understandable, but for some people it's not reality. So I'm never gonna put that expectation on myself, I think, is kind of the thing. Okay, so we have crumbled the black pudding into here, and I think I'm gonna add in a bit more flour before I add in the oats and everything else, because as you will be able to see, that is now very black pudding-y. And I probably could have actually even got away with just using one bit, but this is also going to do at least two or three meals, so I want to make sure that I've got enough. There we go. I'm just going to wash my hands. We are going to make some sauce. Like I say, obviously, the good thing about using gravy granules is that it's designed to then thicken itself, so I don't have to worry about making it too thin or anything, because it's going to thicken as it goes. I do really love using these gravy granules for a lot more things as well. Like I'll add it instead of stock sometimes, because again, you still get the flavour. Let the flavour, it just makes a quick sauce. So I'll use these sometimes. You see, I've got onion. I've also got chicken ones as well. So sometimes I'll use that. It sounds weird, but if I'm making a pasta, because I'll sort of make like a creamy pasta, and then add in a bit of like the granules, sort of make a stock. Okay, so I'm going to put in some oats into the crumble mix, not too many. A bit more flour in, and then I'll also put in like a few mixed herbs as well, just to give it a bit extra. And obviously some salt, because I've not done that yet. And then, as I say, this is a completely like on the fly recipe. So if anyone does want to try it, I am more than happy to pop a recipe in the Discord. Sort of write out some vague assembly instructions, because obviously cooking times will depend. I don't really write recipes, so I wouldn't know on those ones. Just trying to think. I think we've actually done everything today. Because I was expecting to go in a couple of hours. But I think it's actually been a bit quicker than I was initially anticipating. So, I'm trying to do a visual check. So this is all the crumble topping we've got. And I'm trying to work out whether that's actually going to make like one or two, possibly two or three things. So I might add a little bit more flour to the crumble topping to make sure we've got enough. So these are the little trays that I've got, which are super useful. Yeah, I would say about 3. We've got that there. Yeah, I'll add in a little bit more now. Don't need to add in any more butter because the black pudding obviously is quite sort of, it binds it anyway, so that's good as sort of for making like little crumble balls. There we go. Those are done. I'll just point that down a little bit further just so you can actually see what's going on. So, crumble stuff there. Yeah. So the apples have softened. The onions are caramelised. and the sausages are cooked. Obviously I pre-cooked the sausages in the air fryer beforehand, so those were already cooked before I added them in here. And then everything is obviously going to get cooked again. So the only thing that actually isn't cooked is the black pudding. Obviously that's going on the topping, so it'll be cooked. Like that's the layer that's going to get cooked as these go in the oven. Depending on how I make these, I might even get 4 out of them, but I don't know. A little bit. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to put the mixture into the trays now, and we're just going to assemble the crumbles, and then put the topping on, and those are done. I'm actually really looking forward to trying this later. There's going to be a couple portions to go in the freezer, but I'm definitely going to have one of these for dinner because I am so hungry and these smell so good. Make sure that there's an even amount of like sausage in. Why it is? Stop. I can hear the music again. I literally, so quiet in these earphones I couldn't hear it, so that was really loud for you guys. But I think I could have got like 2 slightly low portions, but having said that, I want to make sure there's a bit of a gap crumble and like the lip on these, because I did make some crumbles in these before, and yeah, the problem was that I sort of, yeah, obviously the top of the crumble got stuck to them, so I don't want that happening. Up. It's gonna look like a lot more crumble until I slightly thicker crumble. Up the production directly up. Space to put things because it be that hot. I can put my hand on it and I wouldn't burn myself. Don't recommend it. Okay, so that is our crumbles all finished. Everything that I had planned today. We've done the crumble, we've done the sorbet, and even managed to get some, I nearly said coconut, oh, it's rhubarb. Even managed to get some rhubarb stewed. So we have completed everything on the task list. And with about 20 minutes to spare, so that is fantastic. So that's where I'm gonna call it today. Like I said, it was gonna be a bit of a shorter stream, sort of more depending on when I sort of got things finished. And actually that didn't really take very long. So it's good to know that I can smash out some of these. Yeah, so that's where I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna put one of these aside in a bit to have for dinner later, and then I'm gonna put the other two in the freezer, label them up, do all of that stuff. Do that once they cool down. Still quite warm, obviously. Went from the hob straight into the trays, so I'll need them to cool down a little bit before I can put. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to. I was going to say I'm going to find someone to raid. I already know who I'm going to go raid. Her name is Cold Night Chaos, and very lovely. And I've never actually been able to raid her because I've not been streaming. So if I remember how to do a raid properly, that is where we're going to go now. Is it slash or is it exclamation mark? Slash. Because if not, I'll have to go set it from computer. Yeah, no, I think that just typed it. Okay, cool. Well, that's the person that we're gonna go raid. Hang on, I'm gonna do it from the phone because my tablet does not wish to move, shall we say. Okay. Seeing in real time and remember how to actually do things. That's fine. Oh, okay. No, that's fine. We are actually ready. Alright, so, yeah. I will see you guys very, very soon. Thank you for joining the stream. See you all in a bit. Bye for now.
That? So, Uncle Scrooge, what's that you were saying about a chef?
Oh, right. The chef of my bistro here wanted to show you his appreciation.
Ooh,
So,
did
he
he?
baked this for you.
What is it?
He's got a rocket in his pocket.
Wow!
The timing of that.